Arcadian Vanguard presents The Wrestling News in your daily wrestling newscast for Wednesday, August 14th, 2024. Good morning, I'm Mike Sempervive. We begin today with NXT broadcast live last night on USA Network from the WWE Performance Center in Orlando, Florida. In the main event, Duke Hudson and Ridge Holland of Chase U defeated Axiom and Nathan Frazier to win the NXT Tag Team Championship. The loss ends Axiom and Frazier's reign at 127 days. The NXT Heritage Cup also changed hands on the show, with Charlie Dempsey beating Tony D'Angelo 2 falls to 1. The deciding fall occurred due in part to outside interference from Ren Sinclair.
Sinclair! The referee was distracted by Stacks on the outside with Bourne. Dempsey back into the ring. Butterfly.
That's it.
And we got a new champion.
Here is your winner and the new NXT Heritage Cup champion, Charlie Dempsey.
I hate to give you credit. You said Ren Sinclair could be a difference maker.
NXT champion Ethan Page spoke to open the show, but was interrupted by Joe Hendry, who asked for a shot at the title, but Hendry was sneak attacked by Wes Lee to end the segment. Obafemi successfully defended the NXT North American title, turning back the challenge of Otis making a visit from the main roster.
Oh my word, that is the biggest, damnest power bomb I've ever seen.
Wow.
Oba overcomes Otis.
Here is your winner and still the NXT North American champion, Obafemi.
Wow.
The champion was pushed.
In other results, Lexis King scored a quick win over Eddie Thorpe. Lola Vice pinned Tatum Paxley, and Izzy Dame went over Brinley Reese. In WWE news, John Cena discussed his scheduled WWE retirement tour in an interview with Collider this week, while addressing questions about the next season of his TV series Peacemaker.
So the big commitment in Peacemaker will probably take us, this is one thing I can give you, I can probably confirm that Peacemaker will take us to the end of 2024. And I can say that with the utmost conviction because I have given the calendar year 2025 to WWE. I am retiring in 2025, and I start that farewell tour in January, and I'll end it in December. And it's going to be right around 36 dates around the world to pay thanks and gratitude to the WWE audiences around the world. So that's what I'm doing in 2025.
And finally, in ratings news, back on USA Network this week, Monday Night Raw drew an audience of 1.89 million, according to Pro Wrestling Torch. That's up from last week's audience of 1.724 million on Sci-Fi. The rating in the 18 to 49-year-old demographic was a 0.63, up slightly from last week's rating of 0.61. AEW Collision on Saturday drew an audience of 370,000 to TNT, according to WrestleNomics. The rating in the 18 to 49-year-old demographic was a 0.11. And before we leave you today, we'd like to remind you that however you consume your content, you can find the wrestling news 24 hours a day and 7 days a week across social media. On Twitter, follow us at Wrestling News AV. Our Facebook page is also Wrestling News AV. The Wrestling News can also be found on the Arcadian Vanguard YouTube page. And for those who utilize Amazon Echo devices, just tell Alexa to play the Wrestling News podcast. And remember to make sure you add podcast at the end. Once again, for daily updates, breaking news, and more, follow the Wrestling News across social media. And that's the news for today. If anything happens, we will be here to tell you about it. No clickbait, no paywall, just the Wrestling News. The Wrestling News is a division of Arcadian Vanguard, and the Wrestling Newscast is a production of the Arcadian Vanguard Podcast Network.